See Destiny Productions presents Power to Win with Dr. Valerie Daniels Carter. Expect a powerful half-hour broadcast that allows you to engage from the business world to the spiritual world, to be inspired and to be informed. Remember, you have the power to win with Dr. Valerie Daniels Carter.
Thank you for joining with me tonight for another powerful session of our Power to Win series, The Reality of Recovery. This is session 5. Won't you take a moment and have a word of prayer with me? For all things, we are thankful and we are grateful. You're God, and above you there is none other. So we allow ourselves and challenge ourselves to follow after you. Give us the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding that we need. You are our God. We love you, we appreciate you, and we reverence you. This is our prayer. Well, I encourage you to take a moment and go back, if you haven't heard sessions 1 through 4, to go to my website, valeriedanielscarter.com, and listen to sessions 1 through 4. And if you have heard them, go back and take another listen, because I believe that you will understand that you will be blessed, you will have insight, wisdom, and knowledge. I am just enjoying myself in doing these series for you. This evening, we will focus on what does the new norm look like for me? And we'll couple that with what message am I sending? What does the new norm look like for me? And what message am I sending? Everyone is using this phrase or referencing the phrase called the new norm. Their influence is really, or their inference is really to talk about making or redefining their present state based on the occurrences of current situations. Businesses are redefining the way they manage. Educational systems are redefining the way they offer training. Medical professionals have customized how they take care of patients. Churches have become virtual worship centers. Sports are being played without fans. Can you imagine that? Sports are being played without fans. But I just will put this tag in there. The Green Bay Packers are winning, so I'm pretty happy. Families are being forced to remain in close quarters, and everyone is masked up, sanitized down, and disinfected down. I said masked up, sanitized down, and disinfected bound. So the question really becomes, what should I do? Do I try to weather out this storm, or do I look for ways to change and readjust? Do I just close my eyes and click my heels 3 times and hope that I end up in a new land like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz? The question is, what should I do? I learned many years ago that there are 3 types of people. People who watch things happen, people who hope things happen, and those who make things happen. My simple response to you, and the answer to this question is, what kind of person are you? Are you a watch it, hope it, or make it person? You know, I kind of like that. Watch it, hope it, or make it. Boom, 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 boom. Watch it, hope it, or make it. Well. I call this the WIHIMI principle. The WIHIMI principle will separate winners from those who will fall behind. It will determine the breadth and the depth of your success. The new norm will be whatever you define it to be for you. It will be determined by your willingness. It will be determined by your ability to be astute and aggressive. And quite frankly, it will be addressed in this way. Can you define it? Can you create it? And do you understand the platform or necessity for it? If you play the weight game, then you will get only the remnants, even if there are any left to receive. If you play the hope or hope it game, you will see things pass by you faster than the speed of lightning. But if you take time and shift and say, I'm going to play the make it game, I'm going to create destiny, I'm going to redefine where I am, you'll find things will happen for you. None of us have all of the answers, but I'm so glad I know someone who does. He knows our yesterday, he knows our today, and he knows our future. God has seated in all of us, each and every one of us, the ability to survive. He's not only seated that within all of the animals of the world, but he's seated that within mankind. He has equipped you and me to deal with whatever is necessary in order for us to be able to ascend to a new horizon and come and live above despair. I really want to challenge you to understand you have a human survival kit. And I want you to look in that survival kit and determine what you have in it and what will work for you. Don't worry if you don't have all the money you need. Let me tell you a little secret. Don't you tell nobody I told you this, but I'm going to tell you this. I have never had enough money to pay for my vision. Every time I accomplish something, I seek to do something greater, my resources have never matched my vision. Don't worry about it. Because if you're patient enough and you're diligent enough, things will happen and resources will come. Don't worry if you don't have all of the people that you need. The right people will eventually position themselves around you. Don't you know a cattle on 1,000 hill belongs to our Father, and it is his good pleasure to share them with his children? So why should I worry about resources when he has all of them? Don't even fret if it seems like your cupboard is running a little low. Just remember, he is our sustainer. And lastly, don't become dismayed if you lose loved ones, because he gives peace and comfort, and promotion is never punishment. God has an expected end for all of us. So this pandemic has just come to expand our capacity, not to diminish our ability. Let me say that one more time. This pandemic has come to allow us, in many cases, to expand our capacity, not diminish our ability. If you really think about it, you have become more creative and found more ways to do things that you thought you never would be able to do. Who in a million years would have thought an 80-year-old grandmother would be asking, where is my Zoom link? I know it seems kind of comical, but we're organizing for a women's event right now. And we sent out a Zoom link to all of the women at our church. And I for sure thought, the millennials and, the XY gens, they would have no issue, no problem getting connected. And I was a little concerned with some of our seniors, so I told them to send out additional links so that they would be able to call in if they couldn't join. When I got on that call last week, there were more elderly faces that I saw than some of the young people. The young people were the ones on their phones talking about they were driving and talking at the same time. And I told them, don't drive and talk, or don't drive and text. Value your life a little better than that. Stop that car and go get on that Zoom. I play with everybody a lot. Understand, we're looking for ways to create or recreate things. And if you're looking and you have a competitive advantage, use it. In this age of ever-evolving digital things that are going on, there are 3 things you need to make sure you focus on: process, devices, and people. Process, devices, and people. Because as you redefine this new norm, you're going to have a strategy behind processes, the devices you use in order to be able to communicate or to deliver the product, and the people that you will have to do it to. As you see me today, I've been asked for years and years and years to be individuals' mentors or a mentor for individuals. And it has been my desire to be able to grab and capture young entrepreneurs and young Christian leaders and put my hands around them and share with them some of the best practices, to share with them some of the do's and don'ts of life, to share with them some of the things that will help them to make it to the next level. But because my time was so limited and I had engagements in so many areas, I could not take all of the time that I needed to be able to do it. But look what this pandemic has done for me. It's allowed me to meet with you in a digital format and share with you my insights and my wisdom and the things that have helped me to accomplish the things that I've accomplished. So you have to look in your survival kit and determine what you have in it. A torch will allow you to light a light, and if you light that light, darkness disappears. Darkness dissipates anytime there is light. So take that torch that you have in your survival kit and light it in the heart of your soul. Posture yourself for confidence. Can others see that you have unmovable faith, that you've determined that you're not going to let this thing take you out of here? You're not going to let it draw or drag you down. You're not going to let it suck the energy out of you. W-I-H-I-M-I. W-I-H-I-M-I. What kind of person are you? You have to determine that, because God has seeded or planted faith in all of us. And what we must recognize is that when faith matures, it yields immeasurable increase. Oh, I felt that. When faith matures, it yields immeasurable increase. Faith is the substance of things that we hope for, but it's the evidence of things that we don't always recognize until it comes to fruition. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Noah. Noah never saw the rain until it started. But by faith and over years, he continued to work on something called an ark. He continued to build that ark despite distractions. There were those who laughed at him and lampooned him, but that didn't stop him from building. You will have employees and family members who will satirize and criticize you because you have elected to use, here's this term, alternative operating strategies in order to make something different happen. But that's okay, because they'll be the same ones knocking at your door, trying to get in a safe environment and away from the rain. In order to secure your future, you must convey a message of confidence and surety. Sometimes you have to verbally have a conversation with God, just like I'm having a conversation with you tonight. And you have to tell him, say, God, I trust you. And I believe that you're going to allow me to reap a good harvest. I believe you're going to allow me to live in purpose. Share with those who are around you, that you come in contact with, that you know what, I had to redefine myself and redeploy some things. I had to shift my program. And if you want to come along with me, great. Because I'm really going to where success is going. I'm not going to stay where it's been because I have a new vision. And if I could just tell you this, don't waste your time with negative, cantankerous, grouchy, and whining individuals. Remove all of the negativity out of your environment. Seek to be around and associated with people that have positive energy, that will give you support and offer you constructive suggestions. If you have an innovative vision, make sure you have the right technological support and engagement in order to drive that vision into the future. Your interactions may force you to accelerate new business concepts in order to achieve a desired outcome. That's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with enhancing or reposturing your business or yourself for success if you've determined that there's a deficiency. And don't be afraid to look at what's wrong. If you try to cover things up, you can't be blessed. If you try to cover things up, you can't be helped. Be transparent and deal with things as they are. Look at it and say, I recognize that this is not the best solution for me. So I need to shift my way of thinking. I need to shift my way of operating. I need to perhaps look at someone that can give me great counsel and advice based on where I am today. Yes, I may be in a situation where my home may be being in foreclosure. Seek counsel as to how you can maintain and keep your home. Maybe the repo man did call and ask you for your car. Sit down and have a conversation with the repo guy and say, look, I need this car in order to get to work. So let's work out something. Let's work out a deal. I want to tell you, they really don't want that car back anyway. So work out a deal. When you send a message, make sure it's clear. Make sure it's intentional. Be innovative. Make sure it's directional. Be positive. And make sure it's quantifiable. Take time to handle your business. Don't sit and wait for something to happen. Don't hope something will happen. You make it happen. And even if you're having an unfortunate situation. You may be laid off, and there are tons of people laid off dealing with transition. Look and seek for the right kind of help during this time. The components of forward-thinking individuals is to plan for success. So in part 5 of this series, I've tried to help you to determine that your new norm is defined by you, and you send the right message. Next week, you'll hear from experts as it relates to the reality of recovery from a physical perspective. Man, you don't want to miss that session. I tell you, just in having the initial conversations, I was blessed. It has been a joy for me to join with you on tonight. I hope that you will meet with me each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Join me on my website, Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. May God bless you. Won't you have a word of prayer with me? For this time of sharing, we are thankful and grateful. We are blessed because you have blessed us to succeed. Help us not to just sit and wonder, but actively to pursue the promise that you've given to us. This is my prayer. Amen. God bless you, and thank you for joining with me.
We're so glad you joined us tonight. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube and Instagram. We look forward to seeing you next week. Remember, you have the power to win with Dr. Valerie Daniels Carter.